Hi guys, work is completely insane at the moment and I'm working every weekend as well as during the weekday, so no chance for any videos of games this week, so really big apologies for that. What I have done is this short video and selection of photographs. I've got a game we're planning in the summer. So Chris, who you've seen some of his terrain on previously, has really kindly agreed to do some sculpted terrain for Waterloo. So we're going to do D'Erlon's Assault at Waterloo. And I've had to do some shots for Chris to help get the scaling of the terrain right. So I've got D'Erlon's Corps out on the table to see how much space it takes in a fairly compressed tactical formation. So we're probably looking at a table that's 12 foot plus wide. So what we've got here is about 10 foot of table width. So we can see and gauge just how much space these troops will take up and want to go with the exact deployments we'll go for. So at the moment, I've got these out, so I thought I'd do a quick video of them before I put them all away again. Let's start with the artillery. So this is the representation of the Grand Battery. I think there were about 10 or 12 batteries of artillery, a mixture of guard artillery and the 12-pounders of the three different corps that were the main part of Napoleon's assault at Waterloo. And indeed, some of the guard horse artillery also formed part of the Grand Battery. So at the moment, we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batteries to form our Grand Battery. So we'll have to work out how we play that, but and potentially we could count these as 7, as you'll see in a second. So the first battery we got on the table is my horse artillery of the Guard, with their horse holders and their limber behind them. Then we've got my Guard heavy artillery. Now these are actually armed with 12-pounders. I'm aware the only batteries, I believe, in the Grand Battery that fired in advance of D'Erlon's Corps were the 6-pounders of the Guard, not the 12-pounders, which I think were still in reserve. But anyway, we'll use these. We've got 4 guns here, so I might use them as two-gun batteries. Just represent them to give us a little bit more firepower. Then for my standard infantry corps I usually deploy, I have its battery of 12-pounders here. The gunners all stripped to the waist in this one and in their fatigue caps. Again, as you can see, we've got limbers and caissons for the Guard, and again, caisson here for the 12-pounders. Here we've got Count D'Erlon. He's a Perry figure here with an aide. He's going to be my overall commander-in-chief. And then moving on the line, we have the 6-pounder batteries of 3 of the 4 divisions that we're attacking. Let's see, these are all deployed on the table. And again, limbers and caissons for all one of those 3 batteries. So I think it looks a pretty impressive Grand Battery that we can deploy here. And in the scenario, I think you get the option to move one of these batteries up with the assault. And I have a little bit more artillery because we've got the light cavalry and the cuirassiers, and they'll have the option of both having a horse artillery battery with them, and we do have those. So there'll be a little bit more flexible artillery for the French in the game. So as we can see, I've got a 12-inch rule, so this is for Chris's benefit. We can see the frontage of the Grand Battery, so that's 18 inches, I think. Let's have a look. No, that's 12 inches, that's a foot. So that's a foot long. So we can see we've got, about 3.5, 4 foot here of artillery. Okay, then move on to the divisions. So these are the 4 divisions of D'Erlon's Corps. The first division here has got 8 battalions. 2 of them are small battalions, so you can see 2 of the back 2 regiment, the back 2 battalions are only 4 bases strong. Under the General d'Armée rules, any unit that's under 475 men counts as a small battalion. And although you can scale all of these battalions, I'm sure we've talked about it before, have a preference for having my French battalions in equal numbers of, what's the term? Odd, even, even numbers of bases. Sorry, brain, I had a complete lapse there. So I tend to use 4 bases for small battalions and 6 battalions for large. 6 bases for large. So these are all line battalions with the predominance of the white trousers you can see coming across in the units. And we've got our divisional commander there, regimental commander, and brigade commander, another brigade commander for the 4 in the rear, and a small engineering detachment. I've only got a couple of those, so only the first 2 divisions have their engineers. This is the second larger division. This one has a regiment of light troops with their more predominant blue uniforms. They were all large battalions, so they're all 6 bases strong. And this second division, all the infantry battalions, certainly as I've set them out this morning, are all 6 bases strong. So another strong division, 9 battalions strong there. And then we have our commander with his aide, and again 2 brigade commanders and the engineers. Our third division, a weaker division here. So if we look, we've got 3 of the battalions are only 4 bases strong, so 3 small battalions in this division. And these ones again, all Perez. You might spot that battalion in the back there has no flag. That's just some of the spare stands, just to make numbers up. I will get all full strength battalions. Kevin, one of my colleagues who's playing in the game, has got at least 5 more battalions of French infantry that we will deploy. And as you'll see in a second, this final division is a little bit short. This should also be 8 battalions strong. It's only 7 battalions strong. And if you look closely, you may see the front 2 battalion here. The front 2 battalions here are actually Italians, and the one at the back is Swiss. And then we've got 4 French battalions in their support. So I will be swapping those Italian and Swiss intruders for 4 more French battalions to make up that division, because that one will also be 8 figures strong. Look at the commander here. And again, brigadier and a second brigadier for that battalion. You haven't seen this one. This is the other command stand for my 3rd division. So there you go. That's the forces we'll have fighting in the summer for D'Erlon's Corps. As I say, we'll have four regiments of cuirassiers and 3 or 4 regiments of light cavalry, certainly the 2 lancers and the chasseurs. I'm not sure whether I'll deploy the hussars because they didn't really form part of the assault. They were screening the French right flank. So we're just working out, as I say, the dimensions of the table. We're going to have La Haye-Saint over there, which will be on the right-hand flank of the terrain as we set it out, and we'll probably be going across as far as Papillote, so we may have some of the Nassau that are on the far left flank of the Allied position on the table, as well as the traditional Hanoverian and British battalions that will face off. We won't deploy all these troops on the table to give us more room for the game, so these will probably come on in waves. We could go for the historical deployment, so these divisions were all deployed in line in brigade or divisional columns, or I might give the French the flexibility of a deployment perhaps a little bit more like this. We'll see. I think if they were in battalion columns, actually the frontages would be slightly narrower than we've got here. The divisions would only be 6 bases wide, whereas most of these are 8 bases wide with spacing. So the frontage we would take up would actually be less if we went for the actual formations. I think from memory the 2 central divisions were about 8 or 9 battalions deep. The flank ones were in brigade columns in line. I'm sure that's not quite the right terminology, but hopefully you know what I mean. All right, hope you've enjoyed this quick video for today. Let us know what you think, and look forward to coming back with some real gaming for you, hopefully if work calms down in the next couple of weeks. Cheers everyone.